everybody, my name is Amber Kelly and you are on Things of the Things, and today we are going to make ear warmers. But before we get started, if you have not already subscribed, please subscribe. We are like literally almost at 500. Then the next big goal will be 1,000 subscribers. Now I'm still doing the giveaway. I'm just a little delayed right now because I had some extra stuff going on at home that I needed to take care of. And yeah, we're going to work that out. So I'll be coming back with more details about the giveaway. But like I said, if you have not already subscribed, please subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up. Talk to me in the comments. Hello. Yes, talk to me in the comments. I love to talk in the comments. That gets my day going. Okay? Today, this is a simple ear warmer. I would highly suggest that you not work with black on your first time, or if you have eye problems, I would not suggest black. But this is one that I had already done, and I'm just showing you an example of what we're going to do. Now, you can make your ear warmer for whoever you want. So, like this one, I think this is the 31 peg, 31 peg loom. Now I did do a video on best and worst looms, so please go back and watch those videos. I did do a video on how to make a bow. I will be doing a revised video of making a bow. I found something that I like better, so I'll be doing a video on that as well. But like I said, this is a 31 peg. You can make this for whatever size. You can use a 41 peg, or you can do the newborn. Whichever one floats your boat, rock it. You would need some yarn. Now I'm using one skein of yarn. Like I said, I always pull from in the middle, and you can use the outside as well. Or if you don't want to do all that extra, pull from the middle, get you another skein that looks just like this, and just put them together. Me, I don't like a whole lot of extra stuff, so I just use the one right here and the one on the outside. So you need your loom, you need yarn, you're going to need scissors, you're going to need your hook, and believe it or not, you're going to need a tapestry needle. Now yours does not have to be this fat. I like the fat tapestry needle. I just like this fat tapestry needle. Now they do come in different sizes, but like I said, I like this one. And you will need your row counter. Okay, if you don't particularly care for counting rows, you don't have to. Normally I don't count rows, I just go as I go, but doing videos I have to count rows so I can give you an accurate number in case you want to make it exactly like mine. Okay, so you will need that. And yeah, nice simple stuff. If you want to do alternating stitches, like you want to add pearls, then you would need stitch markers. I'm doing strictly e-wrapping because I'm trying to ease my way back into my loom joe. And yeah, we just gonna work that. We're gonna work that whole deal out. Okay, so when I come back, let's get started. Okay, since you all have gathered your supplies, like I said, just grab 2 strands. This is a number 4. If you use a number 5, only use 1 strand. If you use a number 3, you will probably have to use 2 strands, and it will still be thin. That's why I recommend a size 4 and just using 2 strands. And like I said, a 5 and a 6, you only need to use 1 strand unless you want it extremely thick and hard to work with. Okay, so like I said, first you're going to make a slip knot, which I'm pretty sure everybody knows how to do. So that's no biggie. So some looms have the anchor peg, some don't. I tell people that if your loom does not have an anchor peg, then normally I would anchor it right here, and I will just work it in. It doesn't show any different. It's basically the same thing. You just, your anchor peg is right here. Your anchor peg will be right here instead of right here. So it doesn't really matter which one you want to do, but I'm going to put it right here, and I am going to tighten up. And this has been said over and 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 over. Please, please, please stop wrapping your pegs. Stop wrapping all the way around. Please stop doing that, because then I see all these pictures pop up where, why does mine look like this? Stop wrapping them all at one time. I know the big YouTubers, hey, wrap it this way. I'm here to tell you, it simply does not work that way. So, don't do it. Don't do it. Yes, it may be quicker, but to me it is not quicker, because guess what? You still have to go back around. I'd rather do it right there and keep on going. Now, I don't wrap right here first. I start here. So not directly in front, but I start right here. So that will be the next one. And you see how I'm just wrapping that? You see I did not go all the way around? Guess why? Guess why? Because I don't want my stuff to look crazy. I had a hat. And because I was following these big YouTubers, my hat had a laddering effect. And you know what? When you have a laddering effect, you have to go back and fix that. And you know what? There are not many videos showing you how to fix a laddering effect hat. I don't have time for that. That's not in the business of something that I want to do. So guess what? I'm going to wrap each one of my pegs at the same time. Now for the first go around, one at a time. But then when I got my foundation on here, guess what? I'm going to wrap between 4 or 5 at a time. That's the most that I do, 4 or 5, but I do not wrap my whole loom first. Okay, that was my little nugget for today. And my other little nugget, support small YouTubers. I love every time I get a subscriber on here, because guess what? That I am one closer to reaching somebody else. Now, I'm not going to say that looming hasn't brought me some painful days, but it is worth it, and I am showing you what works for me. Am I expert? No. Have I been doing this since 2017? Yes. But guess what? I had to learn from somewhere, and I had to learn from somebody. So I just want to pass it along and hope you appreciate it just as much as I do. Okay. So yes, how has your 2019 been so far? Mine has been eventful, to say the least. Eventful, but I am blessed for every test that was thrown my way, because tests only make you stronger. Only the strong survive. You cannot give up. You cannot let the enemy win. You cannot let the devil win. All you can do is look forward. Keep praying. Even if you don't pray, just keep a positive mind. Because there are vultures out here. And they are ready to attack. And you have to be prepared, and you have to be strong enough to, when they try to attack you, you come right back on them. And when you come back on them, I guarantee that they will not come back like they did before. They'll think about it twice before they come back. So, I know I'm sounding all preachy. Yeah, this is one of those videos that probably y'all will be annoyed with me because I'm talking. But if you don't want to hear my nuggets and you don't want to hear my little advice, you are more than welcome to mute me and just watch. That's the luxury of having all of these different, that's the luxury of having technology. You can take out and remove what you don't want to hear and all of that jazz. Okay, so now I'm back right here where this peg is empty, and I'm just going to wrap this one again. And E-wrap is the most basic. It is the loosest stitch. Like, it doesn't get any looser than this. Okay, so now we see that my anchor peg still has a hold to this one. So you see I have already brought my yarn around, and guess what? Now you remember that I said I only wrap between 4 and 5. Literally, this is all that I wrap. I hold it with my thumb, and this is when I start counting my rows. So I'm going to start preparing my row counter. Get a reset. So I'm already starting it, so it is at 1. So I need to know that every time that I wrap this peg, I'm counting that as a row. Okay, so this is my first row. Now you could take this off. Technically, you could take this off right now, or you could leave it on to the end. Doesn't really matter. It's personal preference, but at the end you will need to remove it so you can close up your ear warmer. Now, my ear warmers are normally 8 inches unfolded, so that leaves me with a 4-inch ear warmer folded. It is up to you how wide you want yours to be. Not all of mine all the time are 4 inches, just because, like I said, I have a bad habit of not counting my rows, so I have to be conscious of that. So yeah. Almost did too many. And as the more you do it, when your rows are starting, when your ear warmer is starting to go down through here, you will see that you will not have a laddering effect. You will see that your ear warmer will be nice, tight, and uniformed. You will not have any of those issues. So yes. So I'm just preparing my yarn. Just taking some off. And, oops, sorry. Moving my scissors, putting those right there. And like I said, I will be back and I will keep on going. So, here we go. Hey y'all. Okay, so I'm back. So, this is what 20 rows look like so far. Again, this is going to roll. This is normal. It will be alright. When you fold it, that roll goes away. Normally, when I get around about this many rows, which is 20, I like to pull on the yarn. Pull on the yarn to kind of loosen it up, because when you do that, it actually adds a couple of inches. And because this is for a child, you won't necessarily. It depends on the person that is making it and the kid, how wide you want it to be. So, and I got my tape measurer so we can see how long it is so far. And normally I put my one right there all the way at the end, and this is actually almost at 7, not quite 7, but yeah, I like to do 8 inches unfolded. So we still have some ways to go before we get to 8 inches, and then I will fold it, and then you will have a simple ear warmer. And I did take my anchor peg off. Well, the Slipknot off of the anchor peg. You could just undo that. Because I know that I never start right here. I know that this is where every time that I start a row, this is where I need to hit my row counter. So we have done 20 rows. As you can see, 20. So we're actually at number 21. So after I wrap my rows, my pegs, I'm going to hit 21. And like I said, this tutorial, because I know everybody knows how to make ear warmers, but pass this along to somebody that is thinking about loom knitting. Pass this on to someone that wants to do something easy. Start them off easy. Like I said, this is very beginner friendly. You see me wrapping it either 4 or 5 pegs at a time. You can use two skeins of yarn, or you could do like I did, use the outside, and you can use the middle, whichever one floats your boat. And like I said, we just keep on wrapping. Now sometimes I do more than 5, sometimes I may do 6, but the bottom line is don't wrap all of the pegs at once. Do not wrap all the pegs at once. And I will insert a video, not a video, but I will insert a picture of what a laddered effect hat looks like. So I will insert that picture right now. Okay, so you've seen the video of how that space is open. I mean, not video, I'm sorry. Oops. So you've seen the picture. That happened from me wrapping all of my pegs at one time instead of just doing 5 or 6 at a time and keep on going about my day. And like I said, there is a way to fix that. I'm not in the business of doing that, so I just don't wrap my pegs at one time, because I don't want to have to go through all of that, because who really wants to go back and through all this extra stuff after you just spent all of your time looming something. I'm not for it. So that's my take on it. Like I said, I'm not an expert, but I do know enough and I do what works for me. And if you take my advice, love you long time. If you don't, I'll still love you a very long time. It's all about personal preference. And we are at row 22 now. So I'm going to work up until 8 inches, and I will come back and I will show you what 8 inches looks like, how long it is, and how to fold and to match the loops up to go back on these pegs. Okay, we are back. So we have officially done 27 rows. 27 rows have been done. Now, if you are OCD and you have a thing about numbers, you might want to go to 28. But if it doesn't bother you, then you can just keep it moving. But this is how long it is. So yeah, and let's see what we got. So again, I just put my tape measure, started off at the 1, and you see I have went over. So just imagine if I stretch this out. So about 9 inches. About 9 inches. Like I said, 27 rows. So, it is. And because I like my ear warmers kind of thick, because I want them to cover my whole ear, and whoever is wearing this, I want it to cover their ear, their whole ear as well. So now, like I said, we have stopped right here. We have stopped right here. So now we are going to, because this is where I started, so I want to stop right here. So I'm just going to wrap that around one time, just because I am crazy. And yeah, we're not counting that. It is still 27 rows, but like I said, we're going to stop right here. So now we are going to grab where we started, which was the Slipknot, and we're going to put that on this where we ended. This is where we started and ended. This is where we're going to put that over that, just like that. And the rest of it should be easy. It should just glide on there. Each loop should fit perfectly back on each peg. There should not be a loop that does not have a peg on it, or a peg that does not have a loop on it. And like I said, you see how easy they're just fitting back on there. And before you do this, you can also stretch. You can stretch this out. And we're just going to go all the way around. Until we come back where we started. And like I said, I'll do another video after this one of me making a bow, and I'll show you how to attach it on here. Like I said, if that's something you would like to see, please make sure you subscribe. And like I said, we're just doing our regular knitting over. And pull that a little bit. And we're just going to knit over. So each peg should have 4 strings on it, 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom. And once you're done knitting, you should have 1. Every peg should have 2, but once you knit it over, it should have just 1 big loop. And we are 1 step closer to binding this off. And when I bind mine off, I just do a regular bind off. I don't do anything special. Now, I'm pretty sure there are other ways to bind this off, but I'm going to show you what works for me and what have been my sellers, because the things that I make, I sell. Again, if you have not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. I also have a Etsy shop. My Etsy shop has my dish towel pattern. My Etsy shop also has a hat pattern that I have done, came up on my own with. That is in my shop as well. And even if you don't knit, my shop is open. So yeah, so like I said, this is what we have so far. Okay, trying to see. And you have to pay attention to the loops, because sometimes one would stay over, just like that one tried it. So we're going to sit that down. So the working yarn, and let me kind of, back you up a little bit. But the working yarn that is coming from the skein, we are going to wrap this around. Wrap it all the way around. And you want to give it enough room because you want this loose enough to where it'll go on the person's head. Okay? So, like I said, you could either use this, and using this, you would take the two ends that you just cut from the skein, you would put this inside, pull it through, and then you will pick your loom up. Because it is coming from this one, we're not going to start right there, we're actually going to start right here. So you could do it like this, but you see how I'm kind of like struggling, or you can go from the bottom, go from the top instead of the bottom. But normally I just take this and go through it real quick. But like I said, this is another option. Going through the top is oop. Yeah. It's better than going through the bottom. Yeah. But I'm going to take that off because that is going to slow me down. So like I said, using your tapestry needle is another option. And I'm just going to pull that on through. Kind of move your stitches down. I just put my hook at the top of it, grab it, pull it up, and pull it out. And like I said, we're doing this all the way across. Now you can take that first peg off, the one that is already has the yarn going through it, which would be this one, but I'm not going to do that this time. I'm actually going to leave it there because I want this wide enough to where it is not extremely tight, and there is a little bit of working it out at the end, so you kind of have to like shape it. That's why you need to leave a long enough tail to work that out. because you may end up having to loosen this up once you take it off. Then you may not have to. Like I said before, it is all personal preference, and you might want to wrap this around your loom at least 2 times, just depending, just to make extra sure that you have enough room to where you can loosen it up, tighten it up as much as you need, because there will be a lot of that loosening, tightening up, loosening, tightening up. Because at the same time, you don't want it to be extremely loose, but then you don't want it to be extremely tight so that it does not go on the person's head. And then you needed that tapestry needle because you're going to have to weave in the ends because you don't want those hanging out. Now normally I use my hook to push these down, but if your fingertips are hurting, that's because you're using your fingers to push these down. I do not suggest that you use your fingers to push these down. I highly suggest that you use this hook to push your stitches down. Because that is not a good feeling to have your fingertips hurting because you're trying to push stitches down with your hands. And be careful, because if you don't, you can split the yarn, which will stop you, or it'll slow you down, I should say. Definitely slow you down. So we're almost at the end, back where we started, and I'm going to tell you, for me, going through where I started, which was, this was the first one that I started, I like to go back through this just because I feel more secure about it. So yeah, so now you could start taking this off, and it doesn't matter which direction you do it, just take them off. I'm working on a baby cocoon, so if that is a video that you would like to see, please comment down below. And then I could get started on that. And I know spring is almost here, and you're probably saying, I can't do anything with a ear warmer. Guess what? It is somewhere in the world that it is still cold. Some people don't get springs and summers, and some places it's just cold all year round. That's all they know. So don't be afraid to be making winter stuff during the spring. So like I said, 27 rows, you are done with your row counter. This is what you have. Like I said, there will be a whole lot of stretching, working out those stitches, because everything is so tight because you just did this. So as you can see, the top, you have these big loops. I mean, you could leave it like that if that does not bother you. Then you know for sure that anybody head can go through here. But because I don't like the look of the big loops right there, I'm going to pull this just a little bit. Just a little bit. And you notice I have string right here and string right here. Just leave this one where it is because you're going to weave it in. But lay this down, and you're going to pull this just a little bit, and as you can see right here, it got real tight. It got real tight, but that's what we want, because guess what? You have the luxury of loosening this up. You do have that luxury, which is a good luxury. Okay, and that's basically about it. Like I said, because the stitches are super tight, we're going to see how many inches we have here, and we have a little over four inches. So doing 27 rows will get you just right. So where we did this, where the Slipknot was, we can just put it through this tapestry needle, and we can just put it through here, and it's no specific place. We're just trying to hide it, and it's not coming out. So even then, you can cut it right here, because you don't necessarily have to, because that's not coming apart. So then our Slipknot issue is gone. So now we have this. Well, guess what? You're going to do the same thing. And I'm going to cut right here, because the ends are scraggly. Sorry for the shaking. But put it in your tapestry needle, and we are going to put it in one of those little spaces, and guess what? We're doing magic. It's going to disappear. How about that? You wouldn't even know that it was right there. And so I'm going to, well, I probably should have did that. So I'm going to cut it, and guess what? You have a child size ear warmer. You don't know where I started. You don't know where I began. Nothing's hanging out. Nothing is hanging out. Like I said, you just keep working with it, pulling on it, because like I said, the stitches, when you first take something off the loom, the stitches are tight. It's tight as heck. But there you go. So like I said, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. In the next video, I will show you how to do a bow on a fine gauge loom, and how to attach the bow to the ear warmer. So again, give this video a thumbs up, make sure your notifications are on, and subscribe.